here to talk about science. Specifically, our Stream Team data for fall 2023 monitoring. And y'all, I am so excited to get into this. First, we're gonna talk about what the data can tell us right now. Then we're going to talk about why the data may differ from site to site. Then we'll dig into what our fall data tells us about our stream health. Then we'll talk about how you can find this information. And then we will finish off with what is on the horizon for the Stream Team. Starting off with what can the data tell us right now? So first of all, we are looking for baseline data. Right now, we don't have any measurements for these sites. We can't really compare it against anything. So our first year for Stream Team is getting those sets of measurements for each of the sites. So then we can start to look at trend data over time. Comparing the sites against each other is like comparing apples and oranges. We can do this, they're both fruit, but what we really want to do is compare the oranges with the oranges and the apples to the apples. What this means for us is that we need more data to really start to look at trends. We need several seasons of your data from each of these different sites to get a better understanding of what is actually happening with these streams. But we can still talk about what we found. So why might results differ across the different sites? There's several different reasons for this. We'll add more information into the report, but just as an overview, location makes a really big difference. Is the stream upstream versus downstream? What does the local geography look like? What is the local land use? Is it residential? Is it industrial? Is it really paved? Is it forested? The weather conditions make a huge difference too. We'll get into that, but rainfall, temperature, all of this impacts our parameters. In the springtime, we're going to dig into a lot more information about how geology affects streams. But for today's purposes, I do want to talk about the Carolina terrain and the Triassic Basin. So the Carolina terrain, also called the Carolina Slate Belt, is pretty steep and has really rocky substrate, so those stream bottoms. So the water moves very quickly. We already know that that affects dissolved oxygen. And the Triassic Basin is a lot flatter and sandier. And Chapel Hill is really cool. We have that divide going through our sites. Most of the sites are in the Carolina terrain, but a lot of them are in a transition period, and that's absolutely going to affect some of our results. To better understand what our data are telling us about stream health, Morgan and I worked with Allison Schwartz-Weekly, who is the stormwater analyst and runs the town's water quality program. So starting with dissolved oxygen, just my personal bias, I love dissolved oxygen. Acceptable ranges for dissolved oxygen are between 4 and 10 parts per million or milligrams per liter. Those units are interchangeable. Anything below 4 can be pretty concerning, but if it's right around 0, that's when we go yikes. Because what you'll see is a lot of our results are below 4. We have several sites that have, let's see, 3.12, 3.08. It's really low, but fall 2023 was really dry. We did not get a lot of rainfall. There wasn't enough flow to churn the air into the water for that oxygen to dissolve. Let's talk about pH. Our acceptable ranges for pH are anywhere from 6 to 9, which means if you get any reading outside of that, let us know. Send us an email. And let's end with electrical conductivity. Our typical ranges in Chapel Hill are between 100 and 300 microsiemens per centimeter. So if you get a reading that is over 300, that is concerning. And if you get a reading that is 700 or more, report it to us immediately so we can go check that out. And looking at your data, everything is within typical ranges. So our lowest was 120 at Fan Branch at Scroggs, and then our highest was 255, which at Dry Creek at Silver Creek Trail. So where can you find this data and more information about this monitoring? So you can go to the Stream Team website. There is a section about data. And in that you will find this video and then also a really simple web app that has all of your findings from fall 2023. And again, you can't really compare them against each other, but it does have a lot of really fun layers to play with. So we've got geology, we have elevation, hydrology, different watersheds. So you can play with it in that way while we wait for more data to come in so we can analyze trends. What is next for the stream team? So first of all, January monitoring. Folks are already signing up for that. In March, we will be doing another really big training where we learn about habitat assessments and geology and stream morphology. Super, super stoked about that. More information to come. And last but not least, we have a choose your own adventure option. We are looking for at least 2 people to help us jazz up these reports and some data visualization, and at least 2 more people to help us film future training materials. Thank you all so much for your hard work on Stream Team. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for us.